we're going to talk about pronouns. Pronouns are words that take the place of a noun. The tricky thing about pronouns is that they can also be labeled as other parts of speech besides just being a pronoun. So when you're labeling a sentence, now you could have an adjective that's also a pronoun, or your subject could be a pronoun, or you could have a pronoun as your IO or DO, and it can also be inside a prepositional phrase. So you're going to have to keep your eye out for words that are pronouns as well as other parts of the sentence that you need to label. We're going to start off by talking about an antecedent. An antecedent is the noun that the pronoun replaced. So I want you to look at the two sentences below. John ran the race and he ran the race. So if we're going through to label this, we would say John's our subject. Then when we get to the second sentence, he ran the race, he is the subject, and he is also a pronoun. In the antecedent, the pronoun that he replaces would be John. There are several types of pronouns. The first one we're going to talk about is a personal pronoun. Personal pronouns can either be first, second, or third person, and they refer to the particular speaker. So if we're talking about first person, that would be when you are included, or the speaker is included. So it could be I or me if you're just talking about you yourself, or if you're including yourself in a group, it could be we or us. Then you is the only second person personal pronoun. And then for third person, it's when you're talking about something else or another place or a thing. So we could say, if we're just talking about one other person, place, or thing, we would say he, she, it, him, or her. Or if it's a group of them, we would say they or them. So let's look at this example sentence up here. She is talking to him. So if we go through and label this like we know that we've been doing all year, we would say she is the subject, is talking is the verb phrase, is being the helping verb, talking is the action verb, and then we have to him, which is a prepositional phrase. Now, if you look at this, we also have some pronouns. So when you find a pronoun in a sentence, you need to circle it. So she is a third person personal pronoun as well as the subject. So we're going to circle it. Then if you look at the prepositional phrase, we have the word him, which should be the NOP, but it's also a third person personal pronoun, so we're going to circle it. So see how these pronouns have more than one job in the sentence, and you can't forget to label both. The next type of personal pronoun is a possessive pronoun. And you guys are familiar with possessive adjectives. They show ownership. So he, his, its, their, my, our, your, and there are many more also can act as adjectives. So if you look at this example sentence over here and go through labeling it with me, we'll have sister is the subject. The sentence is my sister stole my sweater. Stole is the verb, and it's an action verb. She stole what? She stole my sweater, so that's the direct object. So now if we look at this, you guys would tell me that these are adjectives. So my is an adjective, tell you which sister, it's my sister, and then it's also my sweater, so that's an adjective too. But they're also possessive pronouns, so now you need to remember to circle them. All right, then we have interrogative pronouns, and these, just like an interrogative sentence, has to do with questioning, or to interrogate is to question. These introduce questions. So the words that introduce a question, like what is for lunch, what is going to be your pronoun, so we'll circle it. Then we have indefinite pronouns. If you look at that word indefinite, We know that the prefix in means not definite, so those are things that you're not sure about. It's like, I don't know. So it's referring to people or things that aren't specifically identified, or even like a number that isn't specific. So if you look at these examples, all, few, nothing, anything, some, no one, you can see that they're not specific. They're not definite. So if you look at this example sentence and label it, let's go through and label what we know, and then we'll talk about the pronoun. So if we have everyone as our subject, is doing is our verb phrase, helping verb, action verb, something. Doing what? Something would be our direct object. Now, when I say everyone, I'm not being specific at all. So that's how we know it's an indefinite pronoun. And so we're going to circle it. And then we have the word something. What are they doing? They're doing something, but we're not being specific about that thing that they're doing. And so that's an indefinite pronoun because we're not sure. So we circle it. Finally, the last type of pronoun is a demonstrative pronoun. These point out persons and things. So if you look at this word, you can kind of see demonstrate in there. And if you're demonstrating, it's like you're pointing. So we have only 4 demonstrative pronouns. This, that, these, and those. And remember, it's like you're pointing. So if I look at this sentence and I label it like we know before we talk about the pronouns, then we would have that as our subject, is our linking verb, a baby. So when you have a linking verb, you look for a predicate, nominative, or adjective. Baby is a noun, so I'm going to label it PN. If you look at the word that, it's a demonstrative pronoun. I could point to the baby and demonstrate that it is, in fact, a baby. So it's a demonstrative pronoun, so I circle it. Make sure, once you get through all the pronouns in this packet, that you look at the interjections section at the end of the packet. Once you get through interjections, then you have graduated through all the parts of speech, so you should be very proud of yourself. So make sure you look at the end of your packet. All right, and we are done with pronouns.